Hello, I'm Jim from Come Play With Us, and in this video, I am going to be doing a playthrough of S.T.A.L.K.E.R, a 1 to 4 player co-op game from Awakened Realms. This one just came out recently to backers, and I'm going to be demonstrating the Zone Survival mode. Now, this is a campaign game, but the Zone Survival mode allows you to play just a one-shot scenario, and it's kind of interesting in that there are 10 scenarios in the scenario book, but there is also this map book, Zone Survival map book, and here there's 10 maps for the scenarios, and each scenario can be played on each map, so you can change up the scenarios by playing them on different maps. Also, when you're setting up the scenario, there's this big thick deck of setup cards, and from this you're going to draw 4 cards, and you can keep drawing cards until you get 4 cards that have a different set of tags. So you can't have any 2 cards that have a same tag across them. And once you get those 4 cards, that will finish the setup for the game. So each game will have 4 slightly different elements to them, in addition to being able to mix the scenarios and the maps up together. So that's kind of interesting because it gives you quite a bit, almost infinite replayability. So for this scenario, so the scenario here is I've got to kill this boss monster here. Now, unfortunately, I can't lay the standees down because the standee direction is actually important in this game. So back and front and all that. So hopefully this will come through in the playthrough. Or I'll point out which standees are which monsters and kind of which way they're facing. There are little arrows on the front here to show which direction they're facing. So I have to kill this boss monster and then get to the exit to get out of the game. So that's the objective of this scenario. And then the 4 extra elements I drew for this scenario are, and I'm playing in the labs, so I'm playing this boss monster thing, and actually I guess scenario book here. So the scenario I am playing is this boss hunt one, and this is kind of suggested in the rules as the one you should play first. And so it's got a bunch of setup rules here on how to generate the map and everything. And then I'm playing on this map here, the Agroprom Labs, and then you can see there's kind of like a whole setup grid and things, and this is all meant to go with the setup cards to tell you where the monsters go and where the random elements go and all that kind of stuff. So it'll always be a little bit different every time you play it. Okay, so the 4 random elements that I drew for this, I've got the mysterious cave here, and then so that's at the top of the board there. And the mysterious cave, I've got to basically get to the end here, and then there's a script I have to read, and I have to do that before the end of the scenario or I'll lose the scenario. So that's like an extra objective that I have to do. The second card I drew was this traps card, and so that just put down these trap tokens. There's 4 of them on the board. Where's the 4th one? So 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and I lost the 4th one. Where did it go? Can't seem to find the 4th one. 1 there. Oh, down here. Okay, so that's the 4 trap tokens. They are not triggered right now, so basically I have to be on a trap space, and then I can use an action to activate the trap. And then if I'm adjacent to it, I can use an action to deactivate the trap. And then, of course, if something moves onto a trap, it triggers. So that's the second element I have. And the third one I have is these type passages. So I can put 2 of these on the board. And what this allows you to do, you put them on walls, and if you're adjacent to one of the type passages, you can squeeze through it. And it does some damage to you, but allows you to get through certain areas. So I put 1 here so I could get into this room. Otherwise, this room is almost impossible for me to get to. And this is another special element, which I'll talk about next. So I figured, oh, maybe I'd make an easier way to get into here. And I put the other one up here. So I'm kind of cheating with this mysterious cave thing, because normally you'd have to go around this way to get in there, but I put the passage in here so I can get directly in there. And the rules said that I couldn't do that, so I did that. So that's the type passages. And then the last one I have is this abandoned stalker camp, which is this room here, this room token. And that one, basically I can go in there and there's some stuff I can find, but if I get caught in there at the end of the round, bad things can happen to me. So it's an abandoned camp that I can kind of raid, but I don't want to get caught in there at the end of the round. And the other thing about these cards, okay, so I guess I'll go through the rest of the rules. Okay, so that's basically set up. The other last part about setup for this mode is, normally with the campaign, you kind of have a town phase where you've got a map and you can visit places and, trade, get equipment, search things, that kind of stuff. And then you pick your next mission and you go on your next mission. In this one, instead, you get $9,000. Well, you get a certain amount of money depending on how many characters you're playing with. I'm just going to be playing with one character here. I am playing with Amon, and with the solo, since I'm playing with one character, I get $9,000 to spend on starting equipment. So I purchased this GP37 rifle, I guess. It has an accurate range of 2 to 4, and I'll talk about what that means. A max range of 5 and ammo 6 per clip. And then it has these kind of abilities that you can use. I got this sunrise suit, which gives me a defense of 2 and gives me a -1 radiation going through radiation squares. And it's also an improved container for the artifacts. I'll discuss all that later. You don't know what that means. I also bought 3 ammo clips here. And then I bought a whole bunch of items. And now, unfortunately, I can't keep my player board in the view because I got to keep the map into view. So there's not much you do on your player board, so I'll just bring it into view as I need it. But here are the items out. So I got a frag grenade, I got a flashbang, I got a military aid kit, basically heals me. I got a first aid kit, and I got an energy drink. Okay, so those are my items. And I'm starting on the board over here, okay? Now the other thing is you have these anomalies here. So we've got there's 2 of these on the board. So I got one here, and then there, I don't know if this will come through in the shot quite well, but there's these overlays here that go on the board. I'll pick it up just to make it more clear. So I got these, you get these overlays and they go with the anomaly. So I've got this anomaly is called a popper. It's like here, so this goes here. So that marks where it is. And the overlay goes there, so it'll put these symbols down on the board, and then if you walk over those symbols, there's a chance that the anomaly will affect you. And then you put an artifact token in the middle, and all the symbols are in the middle square where the anomaly is, and the anomaly goes on top of that. So I've got 2 of those. I got one there, and I've got one up here. And that anomaly is called a popper. And so basically what happens is when you move through these symbols, you'll roll a 10-sided die that has those symbols on it. Now the one that happens most is the red, and then the purple, and then the blue and green is. So green is the kind of least likely thing to roll. And basically, as you're moving around, for every one of these you move through, you kind of at the end of your move you add all the symbols up, and if any of those symbols come up when you roll that dice, then the anomaly will trigger. And for this one, when it triggers for stalkers, we have to roll 4 green dice, and then for every star we roll, we'll lose an HP. So this one's not too bad. I've played with the gravity one, which is kind of cool. It kind of sucks you into the middle of the anomaly. This one just kind of does damage. And the artifacts are cool. So I've got an artifact slot here. So, for artifact, you have a slot to have 1 active artifact. You could carry more, but they have cool abilities. But they do also cause radiation if you get them. I'm probably not going to worry about artifacts in this scenario because it has nothing to do with my scenario goal. So I'll probably more likely just avoid the artifacts in this scenario. Okay, so we have a bunch of monsters on the board. Okay, so I'll grab the, oops, this is left over. So all the monsters in this game are on their same team. So you could have monsters that are on different teams and they'll actually attack each other. But in this scenario, all the monsters are on the same team, so they won't attack each other. They're just kind of different levels of monsters. So this is the boss monster, is a chimera. Now the monsters are also variable in the scenario, so they'll tell you what type of monster. So this scenario was asking for kind of a level 3, 2, and 1 mutants. So I've got random mutants based on those levels. And so the chimera, this is the boss mutant. And this symbol here kind of tells you what their line of sight is. So if they're facing forward, their line of sight is 5 spaces. To the sides, it's 5, and behind them, they can see behind them is 3. And this one has 4 health, and it moves 4. And then this kind of tells you what, in this game, you can target body parts, but you know, for this one, it's just the torso. You can't target anything else. And then this down here is their attack, and then these guys have a special that can get triggered. And then the kind of like middle level monster here is the Poltergeist. He moves 3, has 1 health, and then he has line of sight 3 all around. And then the easy kind of monster that we have in this one are these dogs. Now these are interesting. They have only 1 line of sight all around, so they don't see very far. They're blind actually. But they ignore anomaly effects when they go through anomalies. The anomalies affect the enemies as well as you, but not these guys. These guys can go through the anomalies. But they're interesting because if after they finish their movement, if there's a stalker, which is you, within range 3 of the dog, then they kind of see you or sense you. That's what putting this red thing down, it means you've been sighted. And then the monsters will kind of come for you. They also move 5, but they only have a health of 1, so they're fast. Okay, and then some other elements on the map here. These are kind of can bring in extra enemies. Now, all the enemies there's a set number of enemies. There's like an enemy pool. So all the enemies are currently on the map. So even if I spawn things, I can't spawn anything. Nothing else will spawn on the map until I start killing stuff, and then they can come back. There are 2, and so they could either spawn up here with these tokens, or there is this spawn points card for this scenario that will bring monsters in, but the spawn points are both on the chimera here. So basically when monsters spawn back in, they're going to spawn in the chimera's space. Okay, as far as the gameplay goes, so the round structure here is almost identical to the campaign game, but there's going to be some slight difference here. So this is the round order. We're going to have an event phase at the start, and we use a different set of event cards for the zone survival. So this is the deck of event cards you have to pick from. So lots of variability here, and for this scenario, we just needed 10 event cards. So basically, we have to kill the boss within 10 rounds. So this is the event deck. I've already made it up, and at the beginning of the round, we're going to be drawing one of these. Then after we draw and resolve our event card, then it'll be the player phase. And in the solo game, you actually add these little inserts in here. So normally, in a normal game, you would get 2 actions per turn. In a solo game, you get 3 actions per turn. And there's this little round marker here that marks your turns. And then also there's a reminder on here that whenever you go through radiation spots, which are these, they've got these marks here. I don't know if that'll come up on camera, but there's little radiation spots, symbols on the board with numbers. And basically you take the highest value one that you move through on your turn, and you got to adjust your radiation. You got a Geiger counter here to track that. So there's this reminder on here, and then when you finish your turn, there's a reminder here that at the end of your turn, if you're in line of sight of an enemy, they will attack you. They'll get a free attack. So you don't want to be in line of sight of any monsters by the end of your turn. So I will be getting 3 actions per turn. So we'll do basically 1 turn, check line of sight to see if we're in line of sight and any enemies activate. If not, we'll do the 2nd turn, which is another 3 actions, and you do the same thing. The enemies get to free attack if they're in line of sight. And then that would be the end of the player phase, and then we go to the enemy and zone phase, where we draw and resolve what the enemies do, their AI kind of. Then we suffer from radiation exposure and reduce our radiation damage. Then we'll discard all of, there's these kind of bolt tokens that go on the map. These things are basically used to either distract the enemies, so you throw one in to distract them away, get them to run in another direction or something, or you can cover these anomaly spaces with them, which makes getting through the anomalies easier, but they're temporary. They only last till the end of the round. So you discard them during this phase, and then there's also these tokens that can take away the line of sight. And then if any enemies are pinned, they'll lose their pin tokens. And then we reduce the attention of the stalker if we're not in line of sight. And then this step here, this fate step, is specific to the zone survival game. When you'll roll this 10-sided die again, and depending on the symbols, it'll trigger any of these cards that have a red section here. So this section would trigger, and depending on the roll, that it would do different things. So we've got a couple of those cards that will trigger. And then if you roll the red symbol on that die, then you're going to resolve one token off the top of each of these mystery enemy kind of stacks here. And then you just reset all the turn tokens and refresh Stalker lead tokens. So we get this Stalker lead token we can use once a round, which you get a free action. You can flip it into heal 2, and then you get a focus token. And focus token lets you re-roll on any of your rolls. And then we start the next round. That's simple. Okay, so I'll go through the rest of the rules as we're playing. Okay, so start a round. First turn, I'll draw the event card. So our first event is Cunning, improved enemies. So I place this card next to a chosen enemy card, and then all body part hit values of these enemies are increased by 2 stars. And when you kill any of the level 1, 2, one or like the big boss, it's weird. They have 1 skull for the boss. So the ones with more skulls on them, so the 3 skulls, that's like a low level monster, and then like the less skulls, it's the higher. It's weird. It's kind of counterintuitive, but so like level 2 or 3 enemy, basically, we just when I kill any of those, I discard this card. So, so who do I want to make harder? I guess I will use this. Well, I don't want to make the level 2 and 3s harder, but that means I got to go after. There's only 2 on the board, so this guy's, and the boss. Obviously, the boss is really hard to kill, and this one, this guy's pretty hard to kill as well. Although he's only got 1 health, so he's easier to kill. But he's way over there, and the dogs are all kind of over here. So yeah, I guess I'll put this by the dogs, which will make them harder to hit. So I'll put that as a reminder here. By the dogs. Okay. Okay, so that's the event phase. Now we just go to the player phase. So I have 3 actions. Okay, so the basic actions I have to do are here. So this symbol here shows you like it costs a full action. If there's no arrow in there pointing down, if it's just an empty box, like this symbol here, that means it's a free action. So you can do as many free actions as you want to do. These are the basic actions. So I can move, and you just move up to 3 spaces, and then you've got to move your attention token. There's a careful movement where you get to move 1 space. So you can't perform this action to move from or to a space in the enemy's line of sight. We move 1 space, but we don't move our attention tokens. So you can use that to, kind of sneak around. There's a prepare action. This gives you a focus token and a bolt. And then in any number of times in order, stalkers on your space may equip or unequip their equipment, exchange cards, blah, blah, blah. I'm the only one in this one, so I won't be doing that. Then we got a reload action. So if you have a focus token, you can perform this as a free action. And you don't discard your focus tokens. That's pretty awesome. You discard 1 magazine, and then you get to reload your weapon fully. And then there's a pickup action, so I can choose one of these. These are kind of like loot piles here, these question marks on the board. loot pile. So let's pick those one up off the top of that. I can use this action, or if there's an artifact in my space, I can resolve and discard it. Now, the artifacts, you do need to find the artifacts, and to do that, you have to have an attachment that scans for them. I did not buy that attachment as part of my equipment, so I'm not going to be able to get the artifacts. And I basically made that choice because the goal of the mission was to kill this monster. So, and I've only got 10 rounds to do it, so I don't want to waste time trying to get artifacts. If it was, I'm guessing there'll be scenarios in there where you probably want to get artifacts or something like that. So in that case, I would have bought that equipment. The bolts and nuts action, place one bolt from your pockets on the chosen anomaly symbol. So that's what I was talking about. You can put the bolts on these symbols and basically cover them so that you can walk through here, or get around the anomalies without triggering them. So it makes them safer. And then we got this decoy action. You can't perform this action if you have your red attention on the map. You discard a bolt. You place your yellow attention on the chosen space within range 3, and then you draw a yellow enemy activation card and resolve it, but you only activate enemies that are on the chosen space where you put the bolt or spaces adjacent to it. Then if any of those enemies have line of sight to any attention, move that attention one toward its owner. And then our final basic action is this knife action. So this is just attack, pick a body part, roll a 3 green. If this attack kills the target enemy, reduce your attention. Okay, so those are all the basic actions. And then you could have actions on your player board, and I do, of course, for your guns. I've got these single shot and a burst shot, so that's using my gun. I also have 2 special abilities here. So I start with 16 health. I roll 2 yellow dice when I'm shooting. And then X monolith abilities, whenever I attack or defend, if there are no other stalkers within range 3, I get to roll +1 yellow die. Since I'm playing solo, I'll always get to roll 1 extra yellow die when I'm defending or attacking. And then my other one is inured to pain. So if I would lose 3 or less HP due to an enemy attack, I lose none. So if they they do a little bit of damage to me, I basically soak that. So those are my special abilities. Okay, so I'm gonna take. Okay, so I guess my plan of action here. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to sneak down here and loot this room, but I kind of want this boss monster to kind of move out of here first, because if I move into this room, he'll have line of sight to me. And I don't think I should check that see if they can have line of sight through those passages here. Stalkers on a space adjacent to a tight passage may perform an action squeeze through the other side. Yeah, so it doesn't. I'm guessing there's no line of sight through that. So line of sight's a little weird in this game. It's kind of counterintuitive. So how you measure line of sight is you measure a line in any of the cardinal directions. And you measure it until either you get to the end of your range. Now, stalkers have unlimited range, but the monsters don't. Measure the line of sight until, and they're, like I said, the line of sight for the direction they're looking is on their card. So this one would have line of sight 5. So he would be able to see 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to here. And this is where, I mean, it's weird. So his line of sight goes from this space to this space. Okay. Now, why that's counterintuitive, you were like, well, there's a wall here in front of it. It doesn't matter. Line of sight is the way you trace line of sight is if you don't have to change directions when you're moving, then you have line of sight to it. So that's the way it works. So you got to be careful. I've been caught a few times just thinking about it wrong, because I see something like this where you have this passage, and intuitively would think if I'm here that this wouldn't have line of sight, or if I'm back here, well, I guess back here it wouldn't have line of sight, but if I was back here or back here, you'd think this monster would not have line of sight to me, but it does. Okay, that's how the line of sight works. It is simple, but a little counterintuitive, not totally intuitive. So I think I want to start by looting some items and being kind of safe. I gotta beef myself up before I can fight this boss monster. And I think I'll go for the maze later, or the mysterious cave, because I've kind of cheated here with this passage. I can just squeeze through here quickly and then squeeze back out quickly and then get to the exit. So I think I'll leave that to the end and concentrate on kind of looting some stuff and then killing this monster. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go into here and loot this. I'm going to hope this monster moves away, which it can, because sometimes if they've got nothing, they'll wander around and patrol. And then if it does, then I'll squeeze into this room here, loot this room, because there's probably some good stuff in there, like to look at this abandoned stalker camp. Some of the possibilities I can get as an item, I can get an artifact. I can get unique loot, which is unique to this game mode. So there's loot that's unique to this game mode that's not available from in the campaign. Yeah, so that I think is going to be my plan. So I'll want to move down here and get through this. I'll have to sneak through this anomaly. Now this is the least likely thing to roll, but I could still roll it. So I gotta be a little careful. Okay, so I'm gonna use my first action to do this prepare, so I can get a focus token and a bolt. So your focus tokens and bolts go in your pocket. So you got this pocket section here. That's also where your clips go. So I'll put them there. So that's my first. So that's my first action. Second action, I am going to do the bolts and nut action. Okay. Take my second mark my second action here, and then I don't know if you can see this on the camera though, but I'm starting beside this anomaly here, and there's actually a purple symbol in my space. So if I move out of this space, I will have to roll the anomaly die, and I can move 3, so I could go 1, 2, 3 down here. But I would have to roll this die, and if I rolled a purple or green, then it would activate, and that's actually quite high odds because purple is the second most likely thing to roll. Green is the least, but yeah, it's not good odds. So that's why I'm using this bolt action. I'm going to put this bolt on this purple here, so that when I move out of that square, or when I move out of that section, I don't trigger that one. It's covered until the end of the round. And then finally, I'm going to use my last action to move 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's the end of my move. So now I've got to count up the anomaly symbols that I went through. So I covered that one, so I could ignore that one. And I ended on this green one here. So I'm going to have to roll the anomaly die, and I don't want to roll a green. And now if I do roll a green, I did pick up this focus token, so I could do a reroll. That's why I picked up the focus token. Okay, so I rolled red, okay, which is the most common result. So then nothing triggers there. I'm done my third action. So now I check the line of sight, and if anybody has line of sight to me. Oh, sorry. Also, when you move, if you move to a space and you're not in line of sight, anybody, which I'm not, because there's an enemy here. There's walls here blocking. There's a window here, but because there's a wall on this tile, you just ignore this window because you take the highest, basically, obstruction, and you use that. So this, even though there's a window on this tile, because this tile has a wall there, this is all considered a wall. So that none of these enemies would have line of sight to me. Now this one, if it had a good line of sight, it would be able to see me because I am visible to it, but these dogs only have line of sight of 1. Now, because of their special ability, if this one moved 1 here before I could get out of this square, then it would have line of sight to me because I'd be within 3. So that's what their special ability does. But in any case, after I do my move, I do put you. The yellow token basically denotes you making some, a little bit of noise. So there's a little bit of attention on you, the yellow there. So now, but nobody has line of sight of me, so nobody gets a shot at me. And so now I can just take my second turn. So again, my first turn action. So I get 3 actions again. So my first action, I will move to this space. Now I've left the space with the green. I do have to move my attention token. And so I got to roll the anomaly die again. And I got blue, so I'm good. Okay. And now I'm on the spot with the loot tile. So I am going to use my second action. I'm going to pick up. Okay, so I just draw the top token off this, and I'm getting, ooh, I got real lucky there. I get an item. So I just draw a random item. So I'll shuffle up the item deck here. Hope I get something good. Now you can carry 6 items, and I have 5. So this will be the last item I'm able to carry. I'm getting a bandage pack. Okay, that's not too bad. It's kind of a cheapo thing, but you know, could always use an extra 5 HP if I get into trouble. Keep that handy, but but I'll use my final action to loot the final token out of this space here. I get another item. Okay, so now I got to throw out an item. Probably be that bandage pack. So hopefully I get a better item here. That's what I get this time. I got a flashbang. Okay, flashbangs are pretty good. A little bit better than the bandage, I guess. Yeah. So what do I want to keep? I want to keep the, or you know, I got this energy drink. The energy drink's pretty good. You know, the flashbangs probably better than the bandage. So I'm gonna keep the flashbang. I'll have 2 of them, and I'll get rid of the bandage. Okay, that's the end of the round. So now we're into the enemies in zone phase. Oh, sorry. One thing I forgot, and I'll probably forget this until the enemies phase. So I started in this space here that has a 3 radiation rating, and I moved to this 2 radiation rating space. So the radiation's all kind of, this whole hallway here is radiation. There's some more radiation up there. So what you do is whenever you move through or end your movement in those spaces, you take the highest value one. So in this case, it was 3, and I should have moved my radiation up 3, so that I'm on 3. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to draw and resolve an enemy action card. I'm not red, so I didn't walk through anybody's line of sight. So that when you do, you'd have to put a red token, the red. What do you call it? The red token down, attention token down. But because I didn't, I'm going to draw a yellow card. Okay, so yellow enemy activation. So they're curious. If there's no attention on the map, there's my yellow attention's there. So if there's a yellow attention on the map, so this symbol means all the enemies basically. So you notice each of these enemies has a colored token on them. So the boss is green, the middle one's red, and the dogs are yellow. So you'll see some of the things will just trigger for certain color monsters. So that's what the tokens you're looking at. So all enemies are going to move up to 3 spaces toward the closest attention, which would be my yellow thing here. So I guess we'll start with the boss one. So he is going to move out of the way, unfortunately. Oh no! So he's gonna move this way. So he'll go 1, 2, 3 here. Okay. So he's in this space. He does not have line of sight to me, so I'm still safe. Yeah, this is a separate space from this space. So I can even move, keep with my plan. Okay, so the dogs, I think, what did it say? It said 3 spaces. So this dog will move 3, 1, 2, 3. Now the dogs ignore anomalies, so they're not affected by the anomalies. 1, 2, 3. This dog. And they'll go take the shortest path. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'll probably go this way. 1, 2. 3. Remember, these track tokens are not live. Okay, and then this guy will just move 1, 2, 3. Okay, they're all coming for me. Oh shoot, I don't like that guy there. Okay. And then if an enemy has line of sight to any attention, then I move that attention by 2 spaces towards owner. They don't, so I'm okay. That's it for the enemy activation. Okay, and then now I'm going to suffer any radiation exposure, and then drop my radiation down. So there's a handy dandy quick reference on the back of the rulebook that shows you the thresholds here. So for green threshold, which is what I'm in right now, we don't roll any dice, so I don't take any damage. Okay, so you look here, see I'm in green, so I don't roll any dice, and I think it shows you, yeah. Does it show that in there? No, anyways. And then when you're done resolving that, you drop it down to the next, see how this 3 has a circle around it? I drop this to the next one of those symbols, which is at 0, so it's back to the start. Now, if I had an artifact, the artifact actually has a base level of radiation, and instead of dropping it down to kind of that next level, like we did there, you would drop it down to whatever the base value of the artifact is, minus any benefits you get from the container you have. And actually, I forgot to grab the container token because I have armor with a container. So normally, you see how it says basic container here? Well, my armor has improved artifact container, so I should have taken this token here and slid this into here to show that I have an improved container. So if I do get an artifact, because I have a improved container, I reduce the base radiation by 2. Okay, so that's the radiation step. So now we discard the bolts and the kind of, I can't remember the name of the other thing, the things that had line of sight. So my bolt is done. And then if any of the enemies were pinned, we would discard the pin token. And then I'm going to reduce the attention of each stalker that isn't in the enemy's line of sight. So I'm not in enemy's line of sight, and my attention token is yellow. So that means reduce it, I remove it from the map. So it's not there. It goes back onto my player board. If it was red, I would just flip it to yellow. Okay. And then now we're going to roll the anomaly die. We're going to check our fate triggers, and then if I roll a red, we're going to resolve the top token of each of those these stacks here. There's 8 tokens in each of those stacks. We'll roll my anomaly die. Got blue. So now I got to check all my cards for triggers with blue. So I've got this spawn points one. So blue here says I place kind of your basically cannon fire enemy would spawn that's marked with an enemy team token available on the space with the spawn point A facing north. All of those enemies are on the map, so I'm not going to spawn anything because you do have a set number of enemies that are on the map. So basically, I could basically ignore this card for now until I kill something. And the only other card that I have on it that has the fate is this one here. And it says during the fate trigger step, if there's no entity in the room with this room token, discard X from this card. There's no X on this card. It's this room token here. And if there are any stalkers in the room with the room token, then we have to read a script. The last part of the round here is I'm going to reset all the turn tokens, refresh the lead stalker token, which I did not use because I'm at full health and I have a focus token, so there was no advantage to using that this round. And then we're just going to start next round. And the next round starts by another event card. So we got Risky Shot here, Ace in the Hole. So a chosen stalker keeps this card, which is me. May be used during any of their turns. Discard this card to perform the next weapon attack as a free action. If you miss the attack, Your turn immediately ends. Slide token to the bottom. Okay, that sucks. Okay, so I guess I got it's a risky shot thing. I mean, I've got to try to kill this. I'm kind of trapped in here now. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can kill these dogs, but I've got to kill this guy, because if I kill him, then that cunning card goes away, and the dogs are easier. You know, and you know, I'm not gonna play. I haven't played this a lot yet, so I'm not really that. Don't know, not that great at this game yet. And in the interest of time, if I get slaughtered right away, it's probably better, because the video will be shorter. So you know, I think I will try to squeeze through this passage, and take this guy out. Now, unfortunately, my weapon is better when I'm at range 2 to 4, than being right in range. So I might want to squeeze through there and run by him. I do also want to raid this room. So, well, we'll see how this goes. So, let's refresh our memory here. That's tight passages. So with that one, move. Okay, so I've got to, it's an action to use this to squeeze through the other side. And I have to be adjacent to it to do that. So I got to burn an action. So I got to take an action to move here. Then I got to take another action to squeeze through there. So since I'm only moving one space, I'll probably use my first action to do the careful movement, because the careful movement, I can't do this if I'm in line of sight of something, or if my my attention marker is red. It's not even on the map right now. But I don't place my attention token when I do that. So I could move one here and not place my attention token. And I am not in line of sight. This is he's on a separate space, and there's walls, so I'm not in line of sight of this guy, and nothing on the tight passages card says that there's line of sight can be traced through here, so I'm going to assume that you can't. Okay, so now it's an action, and I got to roll the anomaly die, and then I lose some HP. So that's basically going to tell me how many HP I'm going to lose squeezing through that space. So let's do that. Let's squeeze into the space and get spotted by a poltergeist. Does mean the poltergeist will attack me right away, because it will have line of sight to me once I get through there. But yeah, maybe I'll take a shot at it first. Yeah, take some damage here probably. Don't know if this is a good idea. Oh, and I got the worst result there, so I'm going to lose 4 hit points going through there. So down to 12 to squeeze into this room. Okay, and now this monster has line of sight to me, because his line of sight going that direction is 3. So I've got to put my red attention here. And this is where I get into lots of trouble. So I probably want to kill him, loot this quickly, and run. Which might not be possible, but anyways, I got one more action this round, so I'm going to shoot. Okay, so let's look at how shooting works. Okay, so I roll 2 yellow dice when I shoot, and then I roll an extra yellow die because of my special ability. And then what I can shoot here, this is my gun. So I can either do a single shot here, which lets me roll 2 green die, and I put my attention die down, and I pick a body part. That costs me 1 action and 1 bullet, or 1 ammo. Or I could do this burst shot, which costs me 3 ammo, and then I get to roll 3 green dice, and I can spread my effects among all enemies that are in the space or adjacent, and in my line of sight. Okay. There's only 1 enemy there, so it doesn't make sense to use this burst. I'll just use the single shot. The other thing is precise, so every 2 skulls I roll, I get an extra star. I'm not in the 2, I'm beyond 2, so he is in range. So my max range is 5, but not accurate. I'm not accurate close up like this. And so what the accuracy means is if you're within the accurate range, these white spaces on the green dice count as 4 stars instead of 2. So it is pretty awesome. I mean, there's only 1 of those spaces on these green dice, but being in the accurate range is pretty good. Okay, so I'll do the single shot, which uses my last action. I gotta spend an ammo so I started with 6 ammo here, so I'm gonna spend my last ammo, or no, my first ammo. I do have a focus die too, so. Okay, so I'm gonna get to roll 3 yellow and 2 green. And then we just count the stars. And then I got a focus token and I can reroll as many dice as I want. Oh, I got supposed to pick a body part, so I won't look at my... So the poltergeist requires 13 stars to hit him in the head. That's very hard to do with my gun, I don't think. And especially I'm not in the accurate range. So I'll go for the torso, which means I need an 8. Now that other thing about this poltergeist is if I have a even number of stars, I deal a heavy wound. So I need 8 on the dot would be best. Because if I do 9, because it's an odd number of stars, I would have no effect. So that's an extra wrinkle with the poltergeist, is you got to hit them with an even number of stars. So I've got 2 here, 3 here, so that's 5. 6, and then I've got this double skull, so that's 7. So I'm 1 short. So I'll use my focus token to re-roll. I need 1 star. So, these are all 1 star or 2 stars on these. So I think I'm just going to re-roll 1 yellow. So I need 1 star on this yellow, and not 2 stars. I got 2 stars. So I hit because I got 9 stars, but because it's an odd number, it has no effect on the poltergeist. Okay, so now because I'm at the end of my turn, and there's always a reminder here in this space when you move this all the way down. Each enemy with line of sight to your stalker attacks your stalker. So attacks are pretty simple. They always hit. So he's going to turn to face me. And their attacks always hit. So if we grab the poltergeist here, look at him. So the poltergeist has this telekinesis, it's range, so +2 damage for each loot token on the poltergeist map tile. Luckily, I looted those 2. Oh, on the map tile. Oh man, this whole tile. There's 4 on here. I might be instantly dead here. Maybe I should have taken a look at him before I take a shot at him. So there's 4 left. So times 2, that's 8. So he's gonna do 16. Yeah, he could instantly kill me here. 16. He's got range 3. So yeah, 16 damage to me. But I get to roll defense, so I roll, because of my armor here, I roll 2 green dice, and then my special ability, I roll a yellow. And for every star I roll, it reduces the damage. I'm already at 12 health. So this was a dumb move. Okay, so I rolled 4. I don't have a focus token, so I can't re-roll. So he's hitting me with 12, and that's it. He took me out 1 shot. Okay, so actually I made a small mistake. I am actually still alive. It was kind of not my fault because it's covered up a bit here. The room I'm in has this little armor symbol here, 1 armor. So I should have subtracted that from the poltergeist attack, which means I would have exactly 1 health left over. Okay, so I'm still in the game here. Now I probably want to try to get away from that poltergeist. It does move 3. Okay, so you can't move through enemy spaces. So basically, if I try to move, I'd have to stop in this enemy space and then use another action to run away. The other thing is I'd be running through this anomaly. So my chances here aren't great, but what I could do is try to kill this thing, and then everything else will come and attack me, probably. But that that is basically my only chance here, and I got 3 actions. So I do have first aid kit. So I've got this military aid kit here, and this energy drink. So I'm gonna do both of these things. Which one do I want to use here? Yeah, this is a little bit of a waste, but I want to keep my 3 actions. So this one, the energy drink, is a free action, gives me a focus token, and then I can perform my next action as a free action and then discard that. So I think I will do that. I get a focus token. Oh, you know what? I can do this more efficiently. So I'll do that. And then I'll use my next action as a free action. So my next action, I will take a shot, another shot at that poltergeist. So that'll be like basically 2 free actions, right? So I'll spend my ammo token. I don't need to spend an action. And I hope I do better this time. So I roll 2 green and 3 yellow. I got a focus token. Okay, I need to kill it this time. Remember, I need 8 on the dot. Oof. 3, 5, 6, 7, and I got 2 skulls, 8 on the dot. That was better. Okay, so when I hit it with 8, I draw. So hitting it with 8 gives it a heavy wound. So when you do a heavy wound, you draw a card from this enemy wounds deck, and then you look at the heavy wound. Oh, and I got lucky. Sometimes the heavy wound doesn't do anything, but it did 1 damage to the poltergeist, and the poltergeist only has 1 health, so I killed it. Woohoo! So I took out the poltergeist, and because I did that, get rid of this cunning card. So I can discard that, which I didn't like because I made the dogs stronger. Okay, so now I have 3 actions to run away. So do I want to get greedy and take a loot and then 2 runs? Well, loot. I can kind of loot this, run around this corner. I wouldn't be in line of sight of this because it can only see 1, and these guys can only see 1 and 2. The other thing is, well, I would move into his line of sight, so this token would move. But once I get around the corner, it would stay there. But they will aggressively move towards that. Oh, and then once this guy moves towards that, he'll spot me. Now these are the 2 lowest odds ones, and this thing just does damage, so I might just take a chance and run through here. So I think I'm going to be a little greedy. Well, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I can't move very far, though. Could throw a flashbang. That would pin them down. At least this guy would pin this guy down. Oh, I really wanted to loot this room. Oops. Let's take another look in there. What can I get from? I could get an artifact in there. Oh, and a unique. And you're okay. I'm gonna be greedy. And odds are I'm getting unique loot. I want a unique loot. Let's be greedy. Don't need this playthrough to last long. Okay, so I got the unique loot. Hopefully the unique loot does something that helps me get out of this mess. Okay, so there's a unique loot deck. So I'll just draw the top card here. And I got a prototype 130623. It's got a shoot action. And I can attack an enemy within range 3 and in your line of sight, check the random effect. It does a random effect. Okay, interesting. Okay, and this is an item, so well, I'm down to 5 items, so okay, so it's does some sort of random effect. Maybe I'll use that on the boss. Who knows? Maybe that'll help me with my boss fight. Okay, so now that used one of my actions. unless I want to be suicidal, I do need to. Well, I think I'll run first through the anomaly because I might want to burn this token. Although, no, but if I trigger the anomaly, it's going to do damage to me and only have 1 health. So, yeah, I'm going to have to use my military kit here, which unfortunately is going to use second action. So that one heals me 12, and it would give me a focus token. I can only have 1 focus token. So that gets me to 13 there. Okay, and then I use my last action to run. Which I can move 3. 1, 2, 3. I was in line of sight here. And this basically moves, when I'm running away, it moves to where the first space that I'm out of line of sight of the thing, so it would move here. Which is not great because that's going to draw them to where I am. I also have to roll for this anomaly. So those are the 2 least likely to roll, but still it's decent odds I'm going to roll one of them. I didn't. Okay, so good. Didn't get hit by the anomaly. And unfortunately, I'm not going to draw these guys into the anomaly because they're immune to it, and so I think to some extent so is the Chimera. So this is the guy I'm really worried about. I'm on decent health now. So I will use my lead stalker token. I'll flip this as well. Again, I still have a focus token, so I'm not going to lose that. This is a free action to do this, but it will heal me too. So at least I don't have to worry about that. Poltergeist was nasty, man. On that tile. On this tile, the poltergeist isn't that as bad. Okay, so I'm not in line of sight of that, so he didn't get a free attack on me because his line of sight is only 1. And yeah, I'm not in line of sight of anything else. Okay, so that's the end of the round. So we go back to drawing the enemy activation card. Now they're going to be drawing a red card, which is way worse. Now they know I'm here. Okay, enemies, yellow enemies, move up to their movement toward the closest red. So that's the dogs. So all the dogs are going to move their movement up to the closest red. So they can move 5. So he will move here, right? Now, once he gets here, well, I'm already in his line of sight, but remember he has that special, the dogs have the special ability that even if I wasn't 1 away at the end of their moves, if I'm within range 3, then they spot me. So this is going to move here. And so their moves are 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be bad news for me. 1, 2, 3. That's probably the fastest way to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got I think that's all the dogs. And that's a green enemy, so he's not going to move towards me. Okay, and then it says if an enemy has line of sight to any attention, move the attention 2 spaces toward its owner. It's already on me, so it's not going to move. And then player count +1 enemies closest to the red move up to their movement toward the closest red. Okay, so they'll basically move right onto my space. And the spaces can fill up. So you basically, it's 1 enemy per 1 by 1 square. Because we're in a 2 by 2, this square that I'm in can hold 4 enemies. Okay. And then the yellow enemies are going to look around. Oh, they're not attacking so far. So that would just mean, if they didn't already spotted me, they could change, look around. Now with the dogs, it doesn't make a difference because their line of sight's the same all the way around once. But for a lot of monsters, the looking forward is better. This certain scenario, that's not the case. So if they look around, they have a better chance of spotting you usually, especially if it's a human. Okay, and then all enemies are going to attack target in line of their sight. Enemies have -2 damage during this attack, so that's good. Okay, So I actually got lucky with this card. Okay, so both those dogs are going to attack me, so they'll do 2 separate attacks. Their damage, they do a bite attack, and it just does 6, and then this is going to be -2. So they're just doing 4 damage to me, and I get to roll 2 greens and yellow for each of these attacks. So that didn't give me anything. So 3, so I took 1 from the first attack. Oh, and I didn't take 1 because I have the special ability on my card here that if I would lose 3 or less HP due to an enemy attack, I lose no any HP instead. So they have to do more than 3 damage to me. So basically I only need 1 star on each of these defense rolls. So yeah, I'm good. These guys didn't do any damage to me. Wow. Did much better in that than I thought I would. Okay, and then now we're going to suffer radiation exposure. I didn't go through any radiation spaces that round, so it's at 0 already, so nothing's going to happen there. And then, we discard the bolts. I didn't have any on the map. Nobody's pinned down. Not reducing the attention because I'm in line of sight to both of those guys. And then we're going to do the fate trigger, so I got to roll the anomaly die. So we got green this time. So now I got to worry about spawning. But it's just the level. It's just the dogs that spawn with this card because you see it's a 3. So I haven't killed any of the dogs yet, so nothing's spawning with that one. I'm not in this room, so this guy's not going to trigger because I'm not in. I got out of this room in time. And yeah, that's it. That's all it's going to trigger. Okay. And I didn't roll red, so we're not doing that part. Now we're just resetting everything again. I'm going to start the next round. Okay, I think my plan of action this round. So nothing you can run away from squares, no problem. They just turn to face you when you run away. Now remember, when I run away from this one, I'm going to have to roll. There's a blue spot on there, so I'm going to have to run away from that. And I think I'm going to run here and loot these guys. That'll be out of line of sight of these guys. This token will move. I guess it will move to here with me because that's when I'm out of line of sight. But I'm probably going to lob a grenade at those guys. See what I can do. I got a frag grenade, so I think that's gonna be my plan of action this round, is to move here, lob a grenade into there, loot that, and then maybe run away. See how much damage I can do to those guys. Really got lucky that the boss did not come after me that round. Pure luck. Okay. Okay, so we gotta draw an event to start. So we got Destroy the Wall, Ace in the Hole. The Chosen Stalker keeps this card. Oh, I forgot about this risky shot thing. Totally forgot about this. Oh, and this would let me do the weapon attack as a free action. Oh, man. I totally forgot about that. That would have totally helped me out last round. That would have given me another free attack, and maybe I wouldn't have taken damage from that poltergeist. Oh, well, whatever. Destroy the Wall, Ace in the Hole. A Chosen Stalker keeps this card. It may be used during any of their turns. You may perform the following action. Use an action to discard this, and then place a tension marker and one of these block line of sight tokens on your space. To place a hole token on any wall on your space, hole token is treated as a door. Or place a rubble token on any space within range 1. Find the rubble card from the... Okay, so I might do that at the end of my round, and I'm guessing that will block if I put a rubble here, and then I can kind of run away more. And then maybe I'll circle back around. So that is good. I'll keep that on my player board this time so I don't forget about it. Okay, so first thing I want to do is get out of this space. So I'll use an action to move to here. Okay. And then I'm going to use my frag grenade. So I got to use my second action to... Oh, sorry. I should have moved my attention token here. I'm going to use my frag grenade. So this gets... See, I can throw it range 2. So that'll be my second action. It's range 2, and then I place my attention token on the space I'm throwing it into. So that would put this attention token here. And I get to roll 4 green and attack all the entities on that space. And it targets torso, and then I discard this. Four greens. And it's gonna it'll be one. I'll roll the dice once, and it hits all the enemies in that space with the same damage. Woohoo! Oh, 6, 7 to each of their torsos. So their torsos here. So it's a scale. So if I would have done 4, it would be a light wound, and 6 or better is a heavy wound. So they both take heavy wounds. So first dog is dead. Woohoo! Second dog is also dead, and then I'm going to reshuffle the deck. Sweet. Took them both out. That was well worth it. Getting much luckier with these wounds than the last game I played. Last game I played, I couldn't get a wound on the heavy wounds section. My life depended on it. Okay, so I've used 2 actions, taken out 2 dogs. Those dogs will come back pretty easily. Oh, and again, I forgot. I'm on a... So I went through a 2 radiation. I'm standing on a 3 radiation, so I should do 3 radiation there. And you know what? I have actually done 2 actions. So it's every action you take in the radiation. And I've actually taken 2. Well, my first action... Yeah, I've been standing here for 2 actions, so I should actually be at 6 radiation. Yee. Okay, so I gotta get out of this space. I was gonna use my 3rd space to loot. My 3rd action, so that I would take another 3 radiation. Oh, sorry. I forgot I have this armor. So I should be reducing that at 1, so I should be at 4 actually radiation, not 6. Yeah, so if I loot, I'm taking another 2 radiation. Yeah, I'm going to take some hits here from the radiation because it's going to take me a couple moves to get out of this radiation belt. But yeah, let's do one more action. So I'll take another 2 radiation. So now I'm up to 6. I'm going to get into some dangerous level of radiation here. I want to loot this. I get another item. Good. Maybe I'll get another grenade. I'm running low on grenades. Oh, got a bandage pack. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now I've got to run. So first action, and I'm not in line of sight of anybody, so nobody's getting a free attack on me. So I'm gonna move 3, 1, 2, 3. I moved through 3 radiations, so I'm -1, so I'll take another 2 radiation. And then I'll move again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I was in a 2 radiation spot, so I'll just take 1 more radiation. Ooh, 9. Not great. Okay. Okay. Yeah, everything's down here. So that was actually pretty good. And if there's a red attention token down on the board, you don't put your yellow attention token down. So this won't actually move now until I go into line of sight of any of the monsters. So the monsters are going to get drawn down here. And, I can head up here. I could probably safely move up there and maybe finish that objective at the top. And then, maybe loot some more and see if I can get some more goodies. Yeah. Okay. That's the end of the round. So I'm just going to discard this. I didn't use this card. I was thinking of using it, but and I realized I was in the radiation zone. Okay. Okay, so we got to draw and resolve enemy activation card. So it's red again. red. So purple enemies move up to their movement toward the closest red. We don't have any purples. If an enemy has line of sight to any attention, move that attention 2 spaces toward its owner. Nothing actually has line of sight to that attention token right now. And then player count +1. So 2 enemies closest to the red attention token move up to their movement towards the closest red. So we only have 2 enemies on the map, so they're both going to do that. So the dogs move 5. 1, 2, 3. So they're going to move there. And then this guy moves 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I believe, hang on. So Chimera ignores anomaly effects. So neither of these monsters are affected by the anomaly, so they can just walk right through them. Not fair. Okay, for the last thing, all enemies attack a target in their line of sight, and they have -1 damage during this attack. They don't have line of sight to me. So they just stop there. Okay. So now I get to suffer radiation exposure. Okay, so let's look at our handy dandy chart. And I'm in the orange. So I'm going to roll 2 greens here. Oh, wow. That was lucky. I rolled 2 blanks. So I took no radiation damage, and now this will go down to the next level. So it goes down to yellow here. So it's going to slowly go down. Okay. Okay, so now we discard bolts and those tokens, which we don't have any. Nobody's pinned. So now we're going to reduce the attention. So I'm not in line of sight, so this is going to get reduced to yellow. And then we got to do the fate roll. We're probably going to get some monsters back this time. Okay, so we got green again. So spawn here. So for green, we place 1 dog enemy that is marked with enemy team token on the space with spawn point B. So both the spawn points are on the Chimera. So the dogs A and B are on him. So the dog will spawn in his space. Oh, which way was he facing? Green facing west. So that way. Okay. And I didn't roll red, so we don't draw those tokens, which is good because these tokens that we draw those will bring monsters out too. So, and it might bring the poltergeist out again because the spawn point doesn't bring the poltergeist out. Now we just reset everything. Reset. Okay. Oh, and I should have used my stalker token. It could have brought me up to top health. I always forget to do that. So let's do that. So I'm at full health. I'm in pretty good shape here. Okay. Although, running out of rounds here. Gotta start attacking that. Should I? Because there's not a lot of monsters on the board. I wonder if I should start attacking. Like that guy's really hard to hit, but I've got this like mystery weapon here. So, yeah, I don't even know what it does. Okay, we got a storm. Long weather. Place this card next to the map. If any other weather card is played, you discard it. And something's going to happen during the fate trigger. So we got lightning bolts, tempests, so outdoor spaces. So there are, this whole part is outdoors here. A little bit down here. Anything encircled by the yellow, isn't it? So I'm in a building right now, so I probably want to stay in a building before the end of the round. So the mines or the mysterious cave is inside, so going in there won't affect that. So I think I'll still do that as my plan. But I will try to loot some more stuff as I go. I'll probably loot this pile up here though, because that pile's not in. This pile's in 4 radiation. This pile's not in any radiation, so that's the one I want to go for. And then I'll go into the caves and, you know, finish that out. And then at least I got one objective down. And these guys can mill about down here, and then I can maybe set up a trap or something to get them. Okay, so that was the event. Okay, so now my first action, I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. Second action, I'll move here. And oh, sorry, this should be moving now, so they will start coming my way again. And last action, I'll loot here. And it's good to loot these things too, because that poltergeist. Oh, 2 items. Oh, that's pretty good. Although, well, I got room for 1, so I got a good one here. What do I got here? Got an energy drink, which is an all right item. Oh, 2 energy drinks. They both. That's kind of the worst thing you can get. So, got some energy drinks. There are better things you can get, but I keep just getting items. Okay, so it's the end of my turn. It's nothing, and I'm not in line of sight or anything. So, okay, so I'll do another loot, and then I'll start moving into that cave. So I'll finish looting this here. Oh, I got clip. Unfortunately, this is not the clip for my gun. So that's this clip here. But my gun takes these clips here. So see, there's different types of clips. So I guess if I found another weapon or something that used that clip, I could use that. But so not too useful to me, but it does reduce the amount of bonuses that poltergeist would get if I got caught here. Okay, so second action. Now I could arm this trap here and then squeeze out, but you know, if these guys start coming for me, yeah, maybe I could lure them into that trap. But that would take me 2 actions to do, and then I get caught outside. So, you know, I'm not going to do that. 1, 2, 3. And my last action, 1, 2, 3. And then the mysterious cave. I think I need to do an action to investigate that, so I'll have to wait till next turn. This yellow token, follow me. I keep forgetting to move it, but it's in my space. Okay, and around. So we're back to drawing the yellow activations, which aren't as bad, although I did pretty good on those red ones. Not too bad at all. Okay, so we're nervous here. If there's no attention on the map, enemies go forward 1. There is, so we got 2 enemies closest to any attention move up to their movement towards the closest attention. So I guess closest, I guess these guys would be closest. So we'll go up to their movement. So the dogs move 5, and this guy moves 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're starting to come my way. And then all enemies are going to attack a target in the line of sight. Target stalkers increase their defense by 1 during this attack. I'm not in the line of sight, so don't have to worry about that. Okay. And then now we're going to suffer radiation exposure again. So now I'm in the yellow now. So for yellow, I'm going to roll 1 green. Oh, of course, and I take 3 damage on the 1 die. I only got none with the 2 dice. So down to 13 health, and then this is going to drop down to the next level. So we're back into the green. Yay. Okay, and then discard stuff. We don't have any of that stuff. Reduce attention, so attention marker is gone. And then we roll the fate. A purple fate. So it spawns first. So there's going to be facing east. Last one. So he's going to move. All the dogs are back. The storm Purple on the storm. Thunder. Each stalker on an outdoor space may move their attention token to a space within range 2 of their stalker. Yeah. I'm not outside, so I'm good. And that's it. The abandoned stalker camp does nothing. Okay. And that's the end of the round. So we're just going to reset. Go again. So how many rounds I got left here? I still got quite a few rounds. I got 6 rounds left. Okay, boss momentum instant. Resolve the first that applies. If the boss enemy is within range 3 of any stalker, we're gonna do something he's not, luckily. That doesn't sound good. If the boss is within range 4 plus of any stalker, draw and resolve an enemy activation card, but only activate the boss enemy. If there's at least 1 red on the map, draw a red card, otherwise draw a yellow. Okay, so we're doing a yellow enemy activation for the boss. So he's going to move up to his movement speed towards the closest room. Oh, he's checking the disturbance. Oh, there's no attention on the map, so I don't think it said I had to. No, it just said draw a yellow card. So yeah, so there's no attention on the map. That's the first time that's happened. Yeah, so he's going to move his movement speed to the closest room. Enemies that were already in a room to the next closest room instead. So technically he is in a room. So the next closest room would just be this one space forward here. This room. Okay. All enemies with a target in line of sight move up to their closest space with a shield and line of sight to any target. No. Okay. So we just moved him up 1 space. That's not too big a deal. Okay, so I got all my actions. So I guess the first thing I will do is I will finish this goal. So I'll investigate. So I gotta go to script 147. So scripts are in the Zone Survival Rules and Scripts book. .147. So we got a large dark cave stretches around you. You can see countless black holes and cracks in the walls and floor. You notice some waste and scrap in piles of rubble. Roll the anomaly die. Then we go to another script. So I got red. Red's usually not good. So for red, we're going to 398. Radiation. Increase your radiation dosage by 4. Modified by your armor's map. So the goal was up by 3. Okay, that's not too bad. 1, 2, 3. But I don't think that actually. Yeah, that didn't. I gotta explore more. I didn't finish exploring it though, so I gotta use a second action here to explore it again. Hope I get a better die result. Let's roll the die again. I don't want a red. Or I guess go up 3 more radiation. Okay, I'm using a focus token. Need to get somewhere with this. Hey, green, I got a green. Mutant rats suffer 6 damage. You may roll for defense. Okay, so I roll 2 green and a yellow for defense. Alright, so 3, so I take 3 damage. Not doing good on this this thing here. So yeah, so I think I'll flip my lead stalker thing and get 2 health. Focus token back. I'll use my last action and try that again. So we know green and red are bad. So I don't want green or red. Something else. Not green or red. Okay, focus token. Purple. Okay, hopefully purple's good. There's nothing interesting here, just mutant rats. You may suffer 8 damage. Roll for defense to place a check mark on this card if it wasn't there. Yay! So now I'm taking 8 damage. Okay, so I get to roll for defense again. So I got 3, so I'm taking 5 damage. 5 damage, so 7 health here. Okay, and then I get to put a check mark on the Mysterious Cave card here. Check mark on there. And that's the condition I need so to not lose the game from that scenario. Okay, so I used a whole round just to do that Mysterious Cave. Nothing's in line of sight of me, so I'm still good. Okay, so now I probably want to squeeze through the... Do I want to take... Well, you know, I've got time. I don't really have to take damage squeezing through there. Now I probably want to be a little careful here and get ready for that big monster fight here. So I'll move 3 with my first action. 1, 2, 3. I'll move 1, 2. Do I want to? Maybe I'm back here. So I'm not quite in line of sight. Yeah, so I can kind of hide around the corner there. Oh yeah. Don't forget your attention token. Okay, so 1 action left. I'm going to have to heal myself here, so I'll use this one. So that uses my last action for the round, and then I'm going to heal 8. I'm at 7, so that will get me almost up to full health here. Be ready to fight the boss. Okay, that's all I have left to do. I don't think I'm going to mess around trying to find more weapons or things. Okay, so now we're going to enemy activation. So it's yellow, so we're pulling a yellow card. So 2 enemies closest to the lead stalker move up to their movement towards the closest space with armor and without an enemy of the same color. One. Well, this is the last space. Yeah, so they're just going towards a space with armor. So they're both going to just move here. And without an enemy of the same, they're not the same color, so okay, they'll both move here. Okay, and then all enemies attack a target in their line of sight. I'm not in their line of sight, so they're not going to attack. Okay, and then now I do the radiation again, so I'm in yellow. So I roll 1 green die. Don't roll the 3 stars. These 2 stars. Okay, and yeah. So down 2 health, and this will go down to green. Finally back in the green. Okay, and then we're reducing our tension, so it's going to come off the map. And that's perfect because now I can just come around the corner, activate the trap that's in my space, I guess, and they're perfect range for me to start taking shots at. So this is the perfect time for me to attack. Gotta do the... Well, I guess, yeah, I'm not gonna... Well, I guess I still, yeah. I'm in an outdoor space, so I could get zapped by lightning here. Green. Forgot about the thunderstorm. Okay, spawn's not gonna happen because all the dogs are on the board. So we got Tempest. Each stalker in an outdoor space may move up to 3 spaces without moving, placing their attention token. Ooh, that's sweet. So I can just move here, and I don't have to waste an action to move there. That's actually quite nice. This is actually, the storm's pretty good. Yeah, that's the only thing that's triggering from that. So now we're just going to reset, do our vent. This enemy has unique loot. Long. Place this card next to the map. Additionally, mark the level 1 enemy standee farthest from the stalker with this enemy token, unless another enemy is already marked. with this token. When the enemy marked with this token dies, place a unique loot token if available on its space. Then discard this card. Okay, I'm just going to use this token because I don't want to dig around for a token. So that's this guy here. So he's got some loot. He's got loot. Which way was he facing? I think he's facing that way. Okay, oh, I am in line of sight of the Chimera now, though, because he's got line of sight of 5. The dog doesn't have line of sight to me. So, which is fine, because I'm going to be attacking him. Okay, so they're at range 2 in my line of sight. They are in an armored space, so I'll reduce my attack by 1. Okay. Okay, well, let's just go down. First action, we're going to shoot. Could do the burst shot, but then I'd have to reload. Oh, I don't have a focus token. You know, I'm gonna flip my thing right away, heal 2, and get my focus token. So that'll bring me up to 15 health. And get me a focus token. Focus token on. Yeah, the thing I want to think about. Whoa, actually, you know what? I've got the prototype thing. The range on this thing's range 3. Okay, so I guess we'll try this thing. Hopefully it just randomly kills the boss. That would be nice. Using a prototype weapon. You pull the trigger on the strange device. There's a faint buzzing sound, and I gotta roll the anomaly die. Probably hoping for a green on this, or a blue. Green. That's probably good. Probably good. Or really bad. Oh, different script. 279. The fiery beam hits the target, and suddenly everything there bursts into flames. Find the fire card in the special deck and place it next to the map. Place a fire token on the target enemy. Place 1 fire token on the target space, and each adjacent space discard this item. Boss, you're on fire. Fire. The whole room is on fire. Hey, what does fire do? Whenever a stalker enters space with a fire or slides the turn token, usually performing an action while on a space with a fire that loses 4 hit points. Some effects may cause an enemy to have a fire token on its standee. This fire only applies to that enemy and not the whole space, and is moved with that enemy. Then during the fate trigger step, each enemy on a space with fire suffers a light wound, then push that enemy to an adjacent space without a fire. If it's not possible, they suffer an additional light wound. Each enemy with a fire token on its standee suffers a light wound. Each stalker in a space with fire loses 4 HP. Then we discard 1 chosen fire token from the map if there's any. Okay, cool. Not bad. So he's going to be taking light wounds. That will help me. Okay, so second action. Now the question is, do I want to do a burst? The good thing about the burst is I can pick how to allocate the stars. So if I don't kill the Chimera, because I don't get enough stars to do damage to it, I could kill the dog, which would help me, right? Or hit the dog at least. So you know what? Well, I'm going to have a few shots here. Although the Chimera is in line of sight of me, so it will get a chance to attack me. Because what's its range here? Oh, it's only got range 1. So it will not, although it has the charge, which I think allows it to move 4 and attack me. Okay, so it's going to attack me. So, you know, I'm going to do the burst, I think. Spend the 3 ammo. So that cost me 3 ammo. I've got 1 ammo left. Then I get to roll 3 green dice. And, you know, it puts I've already got the red token, but it puts the red attention token on me. And then I can spread my star effects between target and all the enemies adjacent to it in your line of sight. And it's going to hit the torso. If it doesn't say what it hits, it just hits the torso, which I think allows it to move 4 and attack me. Okay, so it's going to attack me. So, I might, I'm going to do the burst, I think. Spend the 3 ammo. So that cost me 3 ammo. I've got 1 ammo left. Then I get to roll 3 green dice. And, it puts I've already got the red token, but it puts the red attention token on me. And then I can spread my star effects between target and all the enemies adjacent to it in your line of sight. And it's going to hit the torso. If it doesn't say what it hits, it just hits the torso. Okay, so 3 yellow. Okay, okay. Now, so this is where accurate range comes in. So it's in my accurate range. So this die here is worth 4 stars now. So 4, 5, 6. This one's blank. 7, 8. I got 10 here. For a heavy wound, I want 14. I'm gonna use my focus token to reroll this green die. Which got me another 2. Okay. So what do I got? 8 here, 10. So I got 12. 12, and I can spread that out however I want. So I can't do a heavy wound to the Chimera. I can only do a light wound with 8, and then I'd have 4 left over to do a light wound to the dog. I think that's what I'll do. Do a light wound to each of them. So this one's for the dog. This enemy gains this token. Okay, so that token means they're exposed, which means they're easier to kill next shot. And the second one, if the enemy is already pinned, push them away. Otherwise, they gain pinned. So he's going to be pinned. So this is good. That actually worked out great. Because now, at the end of my turn, because he's pinned, instead of attacking me, he'll just discard that token. And I'll get 3 more shots at him. Okay, so now we're going to take a... how do we want to do this? Don't have a focus token. See, I gotta, might as well do a prepare here and get a focus token and, well, I'll probably just use my energy drink. I'm gonna use my energy drink because it's a free action to use the energy drink. Oh, and this will give me more attacks too, instead of using my action. Which gives me a focus token, and my next action is a free action, and I discard this. So I'll do that. So then I get a free attack. And I'll just do the single shot, so that'll be my last ammo token. With my free attack. Which I roll 2 green and 3 yellow for that one. And, and I get to pick a body part, but there's only the torso to shoot at on the Chimera, so I need at least 8 here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is no good. So burn my focus token, and I'll re-roll all these 3 dice here. Hope for something better. Ugh, that's worse. Okay, so that's a miss. So that did nothing. Okay, and then I will... So now I'm out of bullets. So I have to do a reload. Now, if I still have my focus token, I can reload for free. So you know what? Instead of spending an action to do the reload, I should spend an action to do the prepare. So then I get a focus token and a bolt. Right, and then as a free action now, I can reload, which means I have to spend a clip And then you go back up to full ammo for your weapon, which is 6 for this weapon. So I'll get the 6 back. Okay, and that's the end of my turn. So now the Chimera will be able to attack, but because it's pinned, instead I just discard that pin token. Okay, and now I got 3 more actions, and I'm fully loaded. So I think I will use 3 of my 6 bullets to do the burst shot again, just so maybe I can kill that dog. And I'm not facing as much. If I miss the Chimera, at least I can hit the dog. Then hopefully I get a better roll here. Oh, so I got 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I got 3 skulls, so that will give me 12. So 12. Almost got the heavy wound on the Chimera, but I guess I'll do the 2 light wounds again. A light wound to the dog and a light wound to the Chimera. Now, the dog has the exposed token on it from the first light wound. I don't know how that works. Is if the enemy suffers a light wound, they suffer a heavy wound instead, and then you discard the token. And if it suffers a heavy wound, they suffer 2 damage instead, and you discard the token. So the dog is going to suffer a heavy wound. So I hope I get lucky with the heavy wounds again. Yep, he took 1 damage, so that dog is dead. Although he's going to respawn right back on the, the Chimera spot anyway. So I guess it just saves me from getting attacked by that thing at the end of this round. And then the Chimera is going to take a light wound again. So light wound is going to get pinned again. Which is good, then at least he's not going to attack me at the end of my turn. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just going to take 2 more. I'll just take 2 more regular shots at him. There is nothing else in that square to shoot at now. Oof, that was a bad roll. Really bad. So I'll use my focus token and reroll some of that. So this is nothing. Yeah, I think I'll reroll these 2 dice here. Hopefully I get something better. Ugh, another bad roll. So I only got 5 there, so I need at least 8. So that's a big nothing burger. So my last action, we got no focus token. Take another shot. Oh, I gotta spend another ammo. Get a better roll here. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. And I got no rerolls. Yeah, that was a whole heck of a lot of nothing there. So not doing good. Okay, so end of the round. I'm in line of sight, so because he's pinned, just discard the pin token. And now we're going to do the end of the round. So we're going to draw the red card. Red card. So all enemies move their movement towards the closest red. So he's just going to move right into my space here. And then purple moves. There's no purple. And then all enemies is supposed to be. So the dogs are supposed to be moving too. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man. Dog could reach me too. Other dog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then they're all going to attack. They're all in line of sight. So they're both going. Those 2 are going to attack me. Purple enemies have +2. Yeah, so that's nothing. So they're just both going to attack me. No purple enemies. Okay, so the dog does 6 damage. I roll 2 green and a yellow for defense on that. So yeah, dog doesn't do anything to me. And the Chimera is doing this pounce attack. And then if he moves 1 or fewer spaces during his pounce attack, which he is because he's on my space, he's going to do an extra 4 damage. So he's doing 14 damage to me. Yikes. That is not good. Oof. I rolled 5 stars, so he's going to do 9 damage to me. I did block a good chunk of that. 9, so I'm down to 6. There. So that's the end of their activation. Then suffer radiation. I'm at green radiation, so I'm not suffering any radiation. This is just going to go down to 0. And then, well, I'm not reducing attention because I'm in line of sight, so no attention reduction. And now we do the fate roll. So I got purple. Okay, so purple, we're going to be spawning another dog. And it's going to be right in the space here. So it's right on top of me. And the storm. Each stalker on an outdoor space may move their attention token to a space within range 2 of their stalker. That's not going to help me because I'm in line of sight. And then we've got fire. So the fire. Each enemy on a space with fire suffers a light wound. Then push that enemy to an adjacent space without a fire. If it's possible, they suffer an additional light wound. Each enemy with a fire token on a steady suffers a light wound. And then each stalker on a space with fire loses 4 HP. Then we discard 1 from the map. So the Chimera is going to take a light wound, which means it's pinned. And then we would discard this fire here. I guess the Chimera just stays on fire. Yeah, and that's the end of the round. I think I'm going to end it there. So we've had a really good idea of how the game plays. I mean, I'm just going to be lighting that thing. Probably move away and start attacking it again. But yeah, that's how this game works. So yeah, almost died right away. Luckily, I remembered about the armor, and we got. Oh shoot! You know, I did forget about the armor when I was attacking them there. So I don't know. That probably would have affected things a little bit. Oh well. Yeah, I'll point that out in the when I'm editing that I forgot about the armor in that space. Lots to think about in this game. It does have a lot of rules, but as you see, it's quite. Most of them are quite intuitive, but you can miss some of these little things. I mean, Waken Realms is not known for streamlining, but anyways, yeah, thanks for watching as usual, and yeah, next I'll get up a review after I played this a few more times. Talk to you later.